Fala, meu querido cativante! Seja bem-vindo a mais um vídeo aqui do canal, dessa vez trazendo pra você mais um episódio da nossa série de Foundation. E estamos chegando no portal, né? Minha nossa. Alguém de fora do nosso reino.
The once dormant gate has indeed resumed its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages. Pick up the pace.
Maneiro, maneiro, maneiro. Lá vão eles, cara.
I must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the old kingdom. The pain of severance has been constant, but our economy has also suffered. The shortages of essential goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
We're taking hits.
Eita, Magpie? É, 2, escapa. Que susto, Magpie. Escapa. Escapa que tá tudo certo. Are taking hit. Show de bola, vamos seguindo a Nila Ti aqui, cara. Muito simpática, velho. Muito simpática mesmo.
Nila Ti, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in watchful gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We are connected to the network once more.
My word,
Ele é o regente, que da hora.
The delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I'm sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Nila Ti. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Explorer, you have displayed some useful
Que legal. Muito legal.
task for joining us in meeting the Royal Steward. I may have need of your insights.
Tá, bora. Bora pra reunião com o regente real.
Made an impression on the expedition commander. I sense you are becoming more central to his plans. Join
Tudo
the
bem.
delegation. Watch this Royal Steward.
Vamos lá.
I have some experiments to attend to, though I shall keep an eye on you.
Tá bom, meu querido. Fica tranquilo, Bozo. O Bozo tá, velho. Coisa linda. Ele conseguiu reencontrar com a família dele. Cara, que legal. Tem que virar. Ei. Para. Aí temos que ir pra cá. Pra trás. Opa, peraí. Como é que é esse negócio aqui? Calma aí. Volta. Agora vamos pro lado. Ei, consegui. Ah, tá. Que doideira.
On capital ship. In all my days. A perfect equilibrium of function and ergonomics. And with such flair. My current abode is penurious in comparison.
Tadinho. Fica tranquilo, Bozo, tá? Se a gente puder colocar essa tecnologia toda pra sua casinha, vai dar de boa, tá? Vou estar guardando na minha buzzard. Que agora a gente vai fazer a reunião com o regente real, né? Bora. Na ponte. Nossa. Ah, tá, que susto. Nossa, que da hora! Que bonitinho, cara! É que da hora esses alienígenas, cara! Que coisa incrível! Ah, eu tô aqui do ladinho. Essa mocinha ali.
I am Nila Ti, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Paranid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal on the tour.
Com certeza.
Esteemed Royal Steward Nila Ti, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I, Nunmonkaret, am no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Paranid authorities. Though we do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited, fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago, we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron Core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider. This really is momentous. I am afraid I must decline your request, for now. We cannot be precipitous.
By the
Tem razão.
glistening waters of Nishala.
I fail to understand. We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Leader we, they are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They have communications.
Nila Ti, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy in search of miracles, but I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider. Our guests have already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our homeworld. The priority at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I am sure emissaries are preparing as we speak. Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand
Explica,
what is
então.
at stake. Please have patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate? What kind of royal steward are you?
Exato.
There is nothing to be gained from trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance.
Caraca, do Mancarete ficou bravo.
Your obduracy is beyond me. I shall take my leave. Heading to the dock, awaiting pickup.
Guarda que me busca. Ah, ela aqui, a Nila Ti.
Certainly could have gone better, but all may not be lost.
Exato, mas pode ser que nem tudo esteja perdido. Lida Wi.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Por que você tá nessa situação?
From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom End to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure. Oh, we thought we were prepared, yet in truth we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see? We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity. Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically. Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores. Later, it was joined by several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown.
Nossa, interessante. Você tá bem?
I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron, you see. We Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so much to communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so.
Eu entendo. Talvez nos encontremos, tentar novamente.
You are correct, of course. There is no harm in reaching for common ground. I am embarrassed to say that our defensive capabilities are woefully inadequate. Ashamedly so. Our economy is so fractured. We struggle to construct anything larger, perhaps, than a frigate. We cannot even resource and operate a full-scale shipyard. For half a century of isolation, we Boron have had little need for a comprehensive military. I fear that we are wholly unprepared for the myriad dangers lurking beyond the gate. And should word spread of the valuable equipment and facilities proposed by the Alliance of the Word, it might be akin to painting a target upon ourselves for any nefarious actors in the vicinity.
Sim, dá pra entender.
I have even now received word of split
Aí,
incursions.
tô falando?
If we had anything of value to loot, we would not be discussing skirmishes. They would descend upon us in hordes.
Ok. Muito interessante, cara. Muito interessante mesmo. Legal, 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 cara. Gostei bastante. E a Nila Ti, velho? Ah, eu tenho que mediar a conversa pra encontrar uma solução. Tá, entendi. Tá. Eles estão precisando de defesas, correto? Peraí. Naruhiko Nakano.
Protectorate has determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Seoul or the wider network.
Então eles vão recuar, né?
Our orders are to deploy to a position of more strategic importance. Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
Concordo.
The Alliance of the Word thanks you for your support. You shall proceed alone from here on. Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
Tá. Tudo bem, beleza. Tranquilo. Eu vou... Já deu tempo no nosso vídeo, cara. A gente vai ter que mediar a conversa pra ver o que acontece, tá ligado? Tá interessante, né? Vamos ver o que acontece, ó. Deu pra ver que eles estão enfraquecidos, os Boron. Na verdade, a província... Essa província, né? Ela tá enfraquecida de defesa. E eles não podem aceitar... toda essa tecnologia de defesa pra eles. Porque aí eles também não estão preparados pra poder guerrear. Mas eles estão carentes de recursos, certo? Então tá bom, vamos pensar sobre isso e encontrar uma solução no próximo vídeo. Bom, meus caros, muito obrigado por ter assistido o vídeo, feedback na área dos comentários, deixa o like. Lembrando a vocês, tem vídeo novo do X-Far Foundation todo dia, 6 horas da tarde. Espero que vocês estejam gostando, valeu, falou e até o próximo planeta. Fui, tchau.
Escapes you with a sound. It's delineated,